Hello my friends, let's get started. This one is 2000 pixels and today we are going to draw the eye. I have it black and I'm going to use the ellipse tool, and with pointing a finger you make it round and you fill in with black, and now you can turn it around. Okay, and now we can move it, it's here. So then we make it like this, just duplicate, and we make now the iris. I make another pilot plus, and we say iris standard, and this is the blue, and we make this also, and then a lighter one, and then this one, and I think this one. So you get the pilot also in the description down below. And now we're going to make it an alpha and fill in even füllen and duplicate it, and it's alpha, and we click this one and we make it like fill it, and then the next one, stop, we duplicate it, duplicate, and we fill it with a darker one or lighter one. For even a füllen, first we make it a bit smaller like this, and the other one we make a bit bigger, just like this, and then the black one comes above, and we make it, oops, you have to be on the black one, and activate it and go like this. Okay. Like this. And now we duplicate this again and we choose a color. Which color is not still here? This one is not here. So now we fill this layer with this one. And I think it's better from outside darker. So make it like this, okay. You see, it's always necessary to be a bit darker outside and more lighter inside. That's always necessary. So, and here also I have activated this, so it's always same. Jitter, it's like verflüssigen. So now, as we have activated the liquefy tool and the crystalline down below, the crystalline tool, we now make every layer around with this crystallizing tool. You see it here, I point to it, it's blue, activated, and now I can really paint each layer with this chitter tool around and make it chittery, so it looks a bit more like a pupil or like an iris. The next layer also has it, so I go again, liquefy, and then jitter crystalline down, and I now make the different sizes tool, and then the crystals, and full size distortion. Wow, this is too big. Wow, cool. This is distortion. Oh my gosh. Cool. Distortion is like cool. Okay, so you see it, this. Oh, wow. So again, this is the amount of distortion. When you put it to the maximum, it goes like this. So a bit less maybe, or how you prefer. So I make it a bit less, and then the pressure I put it full. That's also, then it makes a lot of effects. So I make everything, I play a bit. That's always me. I put the distortion until I like it, so it may be like 20. The pressure is like 30, and then the size is really big, like on the maximum. And now I go around every layer, every color, and just until I think it's perfect. So you see, I also now transform a bit the layers until they fit together, until I see, oh wow, this is magnetic. And yeah, so let's jitter again. You see how I love it? This small tiny layer now of darker blue also needs a bit of distortion, jitter. And what I now do is to make the blue as well. You see? Wonderful. I really can recommend that you also play around with that tool. It's so much fun, and it looks really like iris when we now do the next technique. So this is now the first technique we use in order to make. We crop down. That's what I did now. I crop the layers down so it's on one layer. That's when it's finally ready for the next workout. The next workout is the oil brush. With the oil brush or with the Gaussian blur. When you blur it, then it also, when you press pencil and blur, then you have also the smudge techniques. So in Procreate are different techniques for smudging now the layers, but I use the smudge tool, the smudge finger, and the brush is the oil brush. So now it's a bit faster in order, to go a bit round. So use the oil brush from the Procreate brush sets and the smudge finger. Okay, here you see it. Now really go around, and that's the second step in order to make it a beautiful pupil and a beautiful iris. And try different black color as well. Like me now, I make it a bit more into black. Before it was a bit greenish. I try to fill in now the white, but I also, the white is on an extra layer. So I can always, if I don't like the white yet, then I can delete it because the white is an extra layer. So for all who are watching now, please, the white on an extra layer. Okay, now I go again to I make a second layer of the pupil, and now I have duplicated this layer, and I can variate it with the opacity. You see, these two layers have different opacities, and I also blur it a bit. So now 2 layers for the pupil, 1 for the white, and I play around now with the 1 layer of the pupil, and I also now have an extra layer. This one, it's black, and it goes beneath all. Beneath, you touch it and until it connects, and then downwards. So you see now the black is down, all of it behind all of the eye, and it gives it a really good frame. Yeah, this is black and for the iris to give it a good frame around. It's also not jittery, it's clear, black. And now I do another layer, I duplicate it, and I make again a pupil with this tool. It's freehand transformation. You see it blue on the bottom. It's activated, this tool. And for that I make the pupil again more black and clear. Now I try again a bit with the white, but friends, you know, I try a lot, and this white, it didn't fit, but I try, and I really can recommend for you, try it too. In the beginning, try the pupil with white and see if it already works for you. So you see, I do a lot. I think, oh, okay, where does the light come into the eye, and how does it work with the black? So I go into the iris and try the black color, and try the variation of the colors, blue and also darker like black. And now I make another layer. This layer is precious. You see, I have the light tool. The light tool is a brush that is sparkling light. You see, wow, I love it. Okay, we make it smaller, about 4 points or 5, and now we go around with the pupil on the iris, but really on a separate layer. Always the light brush, always do it on a separate layer. Okay, with the tapping, it's a shortcut to go back and forth for those who are not familiar with it, because I tap on the eye, it's going backwards in your step. And I really love the sparkles. So what you can do now, you go with the, you regulate the opacity a bit down, so it's not too sparkly, it's just like goes into the eye, and I brush around what I don't want anymore. You can also do it with a clipping mask, but I'm like really into painting, so I'm doing also this eraser work. It's maybe something from before, when I was studying normal art, so I use the eraser a lot. Now you have wonderful. I try also the white again, friends, and really try to make the light of the pupil. When it doesn't work, like with me, now I thought like, it's not the best, then go and clear it. You know, always take a step back if you don't like it, and clear. and work. And for me, make maybe the pupil a bit bigger, the black, or make the white a bit smaller or bigger. How does it work? And yeah, I really can recommend it. That's the fun game in drawing, in painting, to look, to try, and then maybe this, maybe not. I love it. It's fun. Okay, tapping brings the step back. Now, what I did, I deleted the white layer and I merged down the other layers in order to have only one iris again and to make it more easy. This layer I made to a clipping mask like this, and you see now it only is, I can paint only in the iris on this one layer. I now make a reference and a clipping mask. So on another layer I can put this layer in opacity a bit down, a bit more smooth, so it's not full maximum, it's maybe 40 opacity. And you see, now I can smooth in another blue color that is not on this first layer but on a second layer with a clipping mask. And I paint now on the second layer, and I paint in with lighter blue and with darker blue. So now to make a more I go again, reference, and you can make a clipping mask, and then you have also again sparkle, and put the opacity a bit down. I play also with the variety, but I leave it normal, and I just put the opacity down to 30%. Now I go into the pupil, into the black. As you see, I wait until the end, until I put the white in it. So I play around with the different layers for the sparkle. And for another wonderful brush I will use on this next layer. The next layer is also a reference and a clipping mask to the pupil or to the iris underneath. And now this brush I use on this layer is a light brush, but it was too light, so I choose, it will get exciting. It is fire brush. I search here. I have many brushes. But this comes with Procreate. You don't have to buy it. It comes with Procreate. It is in the program, and it's the fire brush. And there I have now a light blue, and I work with the fire inside the iris. Make it like smooth, and yeah, be creative in the wings of the fire, in the lines of the fire brush. Yeah. Also go with variation of the size. Sometimes it's like 30 and sometimes it's 12. So I make it bigger and smaller, and I also erase it if it's too strong on the end of the iris. So outside I always erase it a bit. Yeah, again, and also with opacity of the eraser down. Okay, I don't go into maximum opacity when I erase or when I paint. It's normally never. I always go opacity maybe 20, 15, 40, just with every brush I use. I don't use it on full blend or full mode. Always really smooth it in. Yeah, that's how you smooth also in the colors. It doesn't look real if you use maximum often opacity. So what I do now is really cool. It's the tool from Transformation. You can wrap it. I now try to make it more closer for you. But it's just this is a really cool tool. It's called the wrap tool. You see it blue activated here down, and with this one it's really like 3D wrapping around. I love it. Okay, let's go again, and I show you. We now put, I show you each layer again with activating the hook and also the opacity. I play a bit with opacities of the different layers. So I also can recommend play a bit. It's not so strict here. Just look until you say it's cool. I saved it, and now I uploaded the same pupil, but it's now on one picture. You see, I downloaded it as, I saved it as JPEG, and now I inserted again the whole pupil again as a separate layer in order now to make the, to go into variety. And you see now you have the big one and the small one. And now I merge in this new picture that we saved and put again inside now. And now I play around. I transform a bit, I rotate a bit, and it gives it another, transmuted also again with the tool for the rotation and the transformation, and I play until it fits for me. And it gives the the iris again another depth that it wouldn't had before. So this is the final action. I make a new layer, and again I go inside now with different brushes. I have the smooth brush, and I have it on a layer that is now not normal, but it is called screen. This is screen. It's not normal, it's screen. And now I put it underneath. So when I paint on this dark layer that has the dark blue in it, it is called screen. And now I smudge it into with the finger. I smudge the dark blue with the airbrush brush set and soft brush. Okay, so now you see I have the dark blue, and I smudge it in this layer of screen, the screen layer, with the airbrush brush. Okay, so in all of these layers I have clipping mask activated. So the clipping mask clips it to the ground, okay, to the grounding layer. Everything that is like a reference to a layer needs a clipping mask. And the grounding layer also again is alpha. It's an alpha lock, so that you keep inside of this iris. It's just something that I also had to learn. Like, this alpha lock means really that you stay inside. It's the first layer behind the background. Okay, that's the alpha lock, and then come the clipping mask that clip every layer to this round iris. So now I merge them down again, merge them down, and you see how different it is. Good. I just think how I would like I want the black pupil a bit smaller, so I do it and I merge it down now. The layers I don't need anymore. Now I go to this. What's now happened? I may want to have two different blues again, and for that I made two new layers and try a layer of light blue and a layer of darker blue again, and I try now finally again the light inside of the eye. It's an extra layer, as you see. This layer is darken. Okay, this layer I paint now is not normal, it is darken. It's opacity maximum and it's darken as not normal, regulated as darkened. I love to play with the different types of layers, how you can insert them. You can make them in normal or in darken or multiply or in screen, and with every motion it looks different. So it's not a brush or opacity, it's just how you can variate with the layer itself. Yeah. And this, as it already is called darken, is made for dark. And so I go around the pupil and also outside of it. Yeah, here you see it. A bit more light or dark. The brush I use is now, it depends, I take now the air brush, soft brush, for going around the iris. Okay. I think it's finished now, nearly finished. Now we set up a few more light points in the iris, and then ready for showing. I have a new layer now for the light point, finally, and I smudge it again with the smudge finger. I make it a bit more, soften it until it looks realistic. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. There will come more. I also have a Patreon, and I also do online courses. I really enjoy that you're here with me in YouTube, and yeah, I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel, don't forget it. And yeah, here it's now I variate. I just make the hook on and off or the opacity down just to play. And now I save the different variations. Please, if you try it again with me, or if you try it, then yeah,
tag me in Instagram, show me how it worked for you. Thank you.